Hello everyone, and thanks for joining. This is the May 2016 Stamp Club, and our first project that I want to share with you is actually an altered clock. Now these clocks, or this clock and the clock I'm going to show you next, I just bought from the warehouse. They were $6. You could also find them, I'm sure, in op shops, or you may have one around the house that is outdated, or you just want to decorate it up to match your decor. So I want to show you the basics of how to do this. This next one I'm going to do won't look exactly like this one, but I'll just show you the concept, and then of course you can change it up to suit your home decor. So the first thing you need to do is actually take the clock entirely apart. So you see you've got all the hands out and the glass and everything. I'm just going to set that aside. The piece you'll be working with is the clock face. And so you need to then cut this circle, some out of whatever you want to back it with. Now some clocks you can take the bits out and you can just trace around it. In this particular one I couldn't. So I went around in my kitchen and just found some things that were about the right size, and I just traced around this plate. So I'm going to back up and tell you, I'm going to use the birthday bouquet papers. I know we used these a few months back in class, but I have used these over and over and over. I absolutely adore these papers. So you want to cut some circles. So I've cut this one to fit the back of the clock. And then I wanted a slightly smaller circle, so we'll do a nice double matted one here. So I just found a bowl that was slightly smaller to trace out this smaller circle. Now, because I was cutting and tracing, I didn't get the circle absolutely perfect. And because this is kind of white or yellow, I actually just hand cut a slightly larger black piece just so that didn't show through. So I'm just going to glue that in. It doesn't have to be glued really well. And it's still not absolutely perfect, but it's pretty good. That will make it, and I think once all the workings are on around it, the actual edges won't be all that obvious. So I'm just going to glue in using Tombow glue here. Going to glue in the Mossy Meadow piece. That fits about there. And then the printed piece. One thing I like about the glue is that once you put it down, you can kind of move things a little bit. So you don't have to be perfect on the first go. All right. Now from here, you just need to put in your numbers. You also could do more to this. You could add, say, someone's name or a little quote. You could add some different embellishments and make it quite fancy. On the first project I did some inking around the edges, the first clock I showed you, I mean. Also on this one, I used, I don't know how well you can see it on the video, but I'll have pictures. I used the Wink of Stella pen on all of the numbers. In this case, I'm going to use, the Blushing Bride Glimmer paper for our numbers. And I'll just show you, I'm using the large numbers dies, which I've used these actually a lot more than I thought I would, both in cards and scrapbook pages, and these little banners are quite useful as well. So I've already cut these out, of course. So you could do just 12, 6, 3, and 9 if you wanted, or you can do all the numbers. These numbers are quite large, so I should have organized these first. But what I found was easiest was to line up your quarter points, I will call them, so these ones first, and then you'll work in the other numbers around. Now, where it gets a little bit tricky is when you've got 9, 10, 11, and 12. So you've got all double-digit numbers right here. So I kind of scooted that 9 down and maybe just marginally scoot the 12 over. And then you just kind of, I made the two numbers touch where there's a double digit. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put these in. As I'm editing the video, I will probably edit out some of this just because it's not that interesting, but this is the basic concept. All right, so now I've got my quarter numbers in, and I'll just fill in the gaps with the rest of the numbers. Okay, I've got all my numbers in. You see here where I got a little squashed up in the corner, I just made these kind of some different heights. So you can see that it's 10, 11, 12. Anyway, everyone knows what numbers are on a clock, so it's not like they're trying to figure it out. Now, then it's just assembling the clock back together, and I'll be honest, I have absolutely no idea how to assemble a clock. So I'm going to get my husband to do that, and I'll be back.
So the trick is to make sure that they're facing opposite directions. Seven o'clock. 8 o'clock. So the hour has to be at 6. We've got a cloth to just wipe the inside of the glass.